Of the Disney Star Wars ones, this is highly ranked among fans, this one.
Yeah.
What would you think? Where would you put this on your ranking of the Disney Star Wars ones?
Which ones are the Disney Star Wars ones?
You got your Force Awakens, you got your Rogue One, Last Jedi, Solo, your favourite movie.
Oh, that's last.
And Rise of Skywalker.
This is up there for me. This is probably like third.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What about you?
This is number 2 for me.
Okay.
This is number 2.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I know why. I know what you're replacing it with.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking out Force Awakens, aren't you? But that's in number 3 for
Force
you.
Awakens is number 3 for me. Absolutely. Yeah.
I probably put that in second for me. Just I like Rey more than I like Jin.
Okay. Do you not like gin?
I do like gin.
Okay.
Not to drink.
With a tonic. Yeah, sure.
But I prefer Rey.
Okay. Alright, okay. This is the first of the Star Wars cinematic movies that started without the opening crawl.
Yes.
And in spirit of that, here comes the theme tune. Welcome to the Biscuits and Blurays podcast. We watch Blu-rays and the Biscuits are stealing Death Star plans.
I don't remember doing that.
I'm your host, James. I wasn't even said your name. Joined by my wonderful co-host, Jade.
James.
What? Yeah, do you see what I did? I flipped it because this is a Star Wars film without the opening crawl and the main theme.
Okay.
So what I've done is, I've done it exactly the same.
Right, okay.
People will laugh at that.
Like who?
I will laugh at that.
I will have fun with editing.
Purely for my editing
like
joy.
That.
Editing's a chore, and sometimes I like throwing in little jokes for me.
Okay.
Hi to me that edits these.
Hi, future me.
Yeah. Hope you're having fun and not too tired.
You will be too tired.
I'm going to be shattered. But you know what puts me in a good mood? All the time what puts me in a good mood? Star Wars, Rogue One, a Star Wars film.
No, it doesn't. The Last Jedi really scratches your... scratches that itch for you.
Obviously, Star Wars was bought by Disney. We would know this. It was big news back in 2013?
I assume so.
Yeah, that sounds right. It takes 2 years to make a movie, doesn't it?
Do you know what? I couldn't tell you how
Probably.
long these films take to make.
Okay, well, Force Awakens was 2015, and I think they had 2 years prep time on that one. Mm-hmm. So, around then.
Yes.
And then they announced, it's not just going to be a Skywalker saga thing. No. You want Star Wars, you'll get Star Wars. You'll get Star Wars every year. You want Star Wars? You're going to be overflowing with Star Wars.
I think it's because Force Awakens was so popular. People really liked it. Even though, let's be honest, it's a rehash of A New Hope.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one more when we get to the...
But I think because it was so big and it invited a whole new generation of fans in, as well as the old, I think Disney were like, you know what, yeah, let's crank something out every year.
I'm going to ask you now, do you think when Disney went, okay, Star Wars all the time, every time, good time, that was a good move?
No.
Okay, why do you think that?
I think they've ended up with a lot of really convoluted stories.
Okay.
And random characters. I know that there's other TV shows that exist now and there's other movies, etc. People love them. I've seen a few of them. There's a lot of it now, and I feel like you've mentioned it before in other podcasts. You feel like you have to do your homework now in order to watch different movies, and I don't like that. I just want to be able to watch something and enjoy it.
And for it to narratively make sense.
Yeah, I don't want to have to have seen a fucking 10 hours worth of a TV show in order for it to make sense.
If it fits into the greater narrative of the Star Wars, fine. But if it doesn't, that's not a problem either. This one feels a bit more independent.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And A+ for that. Mm-hmm. I think this one really nails the tone of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It feels like a war movie, essentially.
Yeah, it does. I would agree so.
Yeah. Well, towards the end, when we turned to each other and I said, this is exactly like the Magnificent Seven, and you said yes, but you've only seen the Chris Pratt.
I've only seen the Chris Pratt one, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad comparison, though. This group of characters. Let's talk about this group of misfits.
Yes.
Beautiful gang.
The Space Losers Club.
It's the Space Losers Club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, Jyn Erso. Felicity Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Vibe?
She's there. She's doing what she needs to do. She's a bit kick-assy. She's got a bit of a Katniss vibe to her, if you know what I mean.
Does she?
She can't kick ass as much as Katniss, but she's got that same I'm gonna rile the troops vibe about her. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, like part 3 and 4 Katniss.
Yeah, because she's a rebel. She's a saint.
No one's gonna get that reference.
We do.
Diego Luna is Cassian Andor. Obviously, this film has spawned a little spin-off for him.
He says sexy man.
Do you think he is sexy, man?
He's a bit of a sexy man.
Let me tell you this. Anyone who is mildly attractive and they're put in the Star Wars universe, people love them.
Yeah, especially the gentleman, I'd say.
Yeah, but who have you got? Who have you got, really?
Poe.
Attractive. Is Cassian Andor as attractive as Poe for you?
No.
No. Okay.
Do you know what? I don't. A stash doesn't excite me quite as much. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not much of a stash. It's sort of like a beard, but it's not. It's kind of halfway there ish.
It looks like he's gonna have a bit of a sexy vibe with Jin, but they never go there.
I said to you, I think you were pushing for that.
Kiss.
You don't need it. You don't need a romance in a Star Wars movie.
I get that you don't need a romance, but in the last moments, which we'll talk about, I would have liked to have seen a cheeky one. Come on, you're on your way out. Have a good time.
Drop trow. Show me your Cassian Andors. Yeah. Okay. Alan Tudyk. I love Alan Tudyk with all my heart and soul. I think he's a very talented boy.
You love him.
I just think it's great that he went to a really prestigious film school and Disney have just got a hold of him and they're just making him voice a chicken for Moana and stuff. But here he gets some playtime. He was in Firefly, I think.
I've not seen Firefly.
Me neither.
But the people that love it really love it, don't they?
Firefly fans. Alan Tudyk dies in Serenity, so deal with that. I love K2SO. I don't love droids in Star Wars, famously.
You don't like... In other words, you don't like a sassy droid, usually.
It's not sass that's the problem with droids, because R2's sassy. R2's a sassy boy. BB-8's kind of sassy sometimes. It's when they're moany. It's when they speak.
Yeah.
When they speak out, like, talk to us. Because C-3PO, I think I've said it before, I'll say it again, worst character in Star Wars by far.
Oh, he's so pathetic, isn't he?
He's such a simp for worry. Like...
Oh yeah, it doesn't add anything to any plot. He just exists there.
I'd argue he adds something.
No, he's pathetic and he's always getting in the way.
Okay. Yeah, no, he is. But K2SO ain't that.
Oh no, he's an absolute vibe. He will sass you, but he'll also get the fucking job done.
He is a old Imperial droid that they've sort of hacked and made a rebel, which benefits them.
Yes.
But when they go, okay, let's do some undercover stuff, they go, oh, let's leave the droid here. He's one of them. He'll fit in.
Why not use him?
Yeah, not very smart. No one's smart, ever, in Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars has a problem with unsmartness. That was a good word.
Yeah, very good. Donnie Yen, the blind guy for you.
Yes.
Chirrut Imri.
I didn't want what has happened to his character to happen. I mean, it made sense, but he was so cool.
I think he is a very cool addition to Star Wars in general.
He gives off Jedi vibes, doesn't he?
He gives off Jedi vibes without being... irritating about it.
Because they're not going to lie, every Jedi is irritating. Every single fucking one.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
In some way, shape or form, because they're a bit holier than thou, aren't they?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He was cool.
Very cool.
He was a bit like a monk, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think that's the point. Maybe he was trying to be Jedi. Maybe there's an offcut of it. I don't know.
He went to Jedi school.
Yeah, he went to... Maybe they spelt it differently. Put like an umlaut on top of the I or something. Riz Ahmed is underused in this.
You keep saying this, don't you?
Have you seen Four Lions?
No.
I'm a sucker for that film, Four Lions. And anytime I see Riz Ahmed in a film, and he's not doing anything as good as that, there's a problem.
It's great they've got him in there, though, because if you're going to have someone play these characters, you want it at least to be by good actors.
These are all good actors. They all seem excited about it.
Yeah.
And I like that. Not to throw shade at the sequel cast, because I think there's passion there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they feel contractually... They seem contractually obliged.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these, they're in one and they dip.
Yeah.
It's like a lifelong dream for them, and they've done.
Yeah.
Cassio Andor gets lucky because he got a spin-off show.
Yeah.
There's a drive to these performances that I think is lacking in the later sequels.
I agree, and I'm sorry. I think Solo was missing a lot of that passion. You won't agree, But I do.
I
Maybe 2 characters have it. The rest of them are fucking crap.
Which 2 characters?
The guy playing Solo, I think he's trying his best.
What was his name again? Because I told you it's 5 times.
I don't know. I still can't tell you.
Alden Ehrenreich, yeah, and what's his name? Lando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're absolutely selling it. The others,
It's a job.
it's a paycheck, and it shows.
I want to talk about, because I'm going to go ahead and assume that you've seen the film Monsters.
Yes.
Yes.
The one in Mexico.
The one in Mexico.
Yeah. I really like that film.
Okay, this is where we just talk about Gareth Edwards for 45 minutes.
Okay.
He arrived on the scene. He made that film himself. Fully funded it or something. I don't know. But he made it himself, and the visuals he did all himself for like $50,000 dollars or whatever, or pounds. I think he's British. And that was a big success.
Yeah.
Critically, anyway. I went to see it at the cinema. You've seen it? That's good.
I saw it at Blockbusters.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I rented it. It was, oh my god, I loved it. 'Cause there's a sequel, isn't there? And it's nowhere near
Yeah, I haven't seen
of
the
that
sequel.
same vibe. But I remember really enjoying it. And I think, 'cause we, ladies and gentlemen, we often have film nights here at the Biscuits and Blurays household. And I've picked Monsters a few times, and you've never picked that as a film.
Yeah, I've seen it once, and I don't want it to taint my memory of it, because I remember coming out and being like, that's a stellar film.
Then why the fuck do you own it?
Because I like it.
Then why aren't you watching it?
Hey, if I get to it again, great.
So I keep picking it out of a lineup
I
for
look.
James, and he never goes, oh yeah, Monsters, that's a good one to slap on.
Here's the thing. I'm a sucker for Gareth Edwards, and he's come such a long way. We'll talk about his career in a second. But every time I look at Monsters in my collection, I hold it like I'm his mum or something. Like, you started at the bottom, now you're here. Yeah.
I'm so proud of
my
you.
boy Gareth Edwards. He went on to do Godzilla after that. The Bryan Cranston, not in it much, that one.
Yeah.
Which you like?
Everyone agrees that one's an alright one.
Then he got the Star Wars contract, and he's directing this. And then he did The Creator, which was a big hit for him last year, I believe.
Yeah.
He's doing a new Jurassic Park movie.
Everyone's so excited about that, aren't they?
Let me tell you what I love about Gareth Edwards. First of all, I think he's passionate. He's a big film fan. He's got influences of monster movies and things like that, and sci-fi and stuff like that. But he is the only director I've ever seen to really understand scale.
Yes.
How big things look on screen.
Oh yeah, you've said this a lot in this film.
Not so much Monsters, because I can't really remember it. Really, I don't think
It does have a great ending scene. Monsters does, with quite a bit, around the petrol
station, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But Godzilla. Godzilla. Obviously, we know he's fighting King Kong now. That's absolute dog shit.
He's doing weird shit now. Yeah.
Yeah. But in that first the 2014 Godzilla movie, or whenever it was, that lizard looked big,
Sexy,
big, ooh, chunky. You know,
he's a chunky boy.
and every time he took a step, everywhere, you heard that 17,000 miles away.
Yeah.
It felt huge. I think Star Wars is a good vehicle for his use of scale.
Yes, because we see that, don't we, with just how big the Death Star is.
It's big.
It's big, it's chunky, it's sexy.
It's sexy, right? Oh, maybe this is a theme going forward then. Because the creator, he's done big explosions and stuff. Big, sexy.
Big, sexy explosions.
Explosions.
Dinosaurs are sexy anyway.
We know this. So I think he's a very talented filmmaker. And I'll watch anything he puts out apart from the creator.
Apart from Monsters again.
I'll watch Monsters again. I'll give it a go. But how do you feel about him in this? Do you think this is a well-directed movie?
I think it's a really well-directed movie. I think the problem with this is possibly the writing.
Okay.
The direction, I think, is perfect. And the last 45 minutes of this? I was peeing myself. I was so excited. It's so fucking good.
You and every Star Wars fan, yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, this is the best 45 minutes ever.
I don't think we are overreacting when we say this is the best final third of any movie to ever exist.
No, this is perfect. Except for -1.
Oh, -1 was pretty good though, wasn't it?
This
Big,
has got
sexy, lizard.
I think the good thing about this is that there's so many different things happening all at once. But I don't know, it keeps you Really keeps you with the story. I remember being on the edge of my seat. Well, at least I was anyway when the dogfights were happening.
What's that? What's that?
There's fucking stakes in there.
I know you. Yeah, you learned it. Yeah, the stakes seem high in this. Even though we know what's going to happen, like vaguely we know what's going to happen because we're getting the plans for the Death Star, New Hope, whatever. But it feels like the stakes are very, very high.
Yeah, and I think he still wants these characters to make it. I don't think they're written in a way that necessarily makes you know a lot about them, but I think I like them enough in order to want to see them succeed.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah. They do get chance to succeed. They do their job.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can talk about spoilers, can't we?
I think people know how Rogue One ends.
Yeah, basically it doesn't end well for most of them, but they have a time to shine.
They do indeed, and they get the job done that they came in to do. I think they always knew it was going to be a bit of a suicide mission.
Yeah.
But they don't go in feeling all sad about it, or even overly, like, hurrah, one last outing. It's just like, we've got to get this done, let's fucking get it done.
Uh-huh. When you say this film's not well written, do you think that is character development or in terms of the story?
The beginning bit of the story is a bit meh.
Yeah. It's weak.
Yeah, we've got Forrest Whitaker as character.
Saw Gerrera. Oh, got it!
It's kind of in, and then he's gone really quickly. But there seems to be a lot of messing around in the beginning.
Forrest Whitaker's character is in the television show. So when I saw this Rogue One and I knew there were some Clone Wars fans in, I heard them go, "Oh, that's Saw Gerrera from the Clone Wars." And I was like, fuck it, I didn't have Cartoon Network. Thanks for rubbing that in.
I mean, yeah, I get this. It'll be making Star Wars fans that have seen it really excited. But again, for me, I don't want to have to feel like I've done any sort of homework.
Yeah. He's the last king of Scotland. That's how you go.
Yeah, but to be fair, you don't need to really with this. I wouldn't think.
No.
You don't need to know the fact he's been in Clone Wars in order to enjoy him for the part he is on screen. But is he really needed? No.
No.
Does he really do anything?
No. My introduction to that character is this, and he's popped up in like a few video games as well. And every time he crops up, I'm like,
here he is.
That's the last king of Scotland. Oh god. That's my impression of him.
Excellent.
I don't think it's poorly written, but I think the attention in the script was put in certain places and not others.
Yeah.
I do think these are some of the weaker Star Wars characters. Not in terms of performances. I think the performances are gold. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing with this material.
Yeah.
However, I don't care about any of these.
Oh, I do.
The blind guy's different. The blind guy and his mate, and K2SO. I like a sassy droid that's done well.
Yeah.
Also, I knew it was Tudyk, and I like that. Oh, Tudyk. But I don't think we need all Jyn Erso's backstory with the dad, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
No, because they kill him off pretty quickly.
They kill him off, and then she's dead.
Yeah. I suppose with her character, because we see that little bit at the beginning, her family's been completely ripped apart by the Empire.
Yeah.
They've literally taken everything from her. So I kind of liked that a little bit, and I don't feel like they delved too hard into the backstory until they had to get that weird assassination plot shit.
Let's talk about the Empire, because we've seen the original Star Wars. We're big fans, right?
Well, yeah, we've recently done the...
Well, we've done the other ones, but we're going to go into the other ones, into 4, 5, and 6. In 4, 5, and 6, the Empire do not seem like a threat.
Not really.
There's obviously the famous meme of stormtroopers famously missing every shot they ever take.
Yeah, who the fuck trains these guys?
Someone very bad. Also, you can't really see in those helmets. I think they've referenced that in The Mandalorian or something. Anyway, they seem like they're just sort of making it up as they go along. Here, the Empire seem like a threat.
Yeah, and all the rebels are shit scared of the Death Star.
Yeah. Well, they don't know about it. They don't know what it's called. There's talk of it being a planet killer.
Which it is.
Yeah, essentially. Obviously, it's not quite there yet, because we don't see a planet get destroyed until New Hope. Alderaan. Rest in peace. So, I'm talking in terms of like the generals and stuff like this, because Krennic, who's Ben Mendelsohn, Bendelson, as we call him. Bendelson. He seems like he's a very driven character. He's out to prove a point, and he wants to get to the ranks of your Grand Moff Tarkins, your Vaders, and stuff like this.
Yeah.
but the system's beating him down.
It is.
Yeah, shit rolls downhill.
It's the way management be.
I do feel like because there's a turn in the Empire, like the Empire's a lot stronger and more of a posing threat.
Striking back.
Yes, you could say. That the rebels are a bit more cutthroat.
Yes.
Cassian Andor, he is not one to beat about the bush. If you've got information...
He fucking wants it.
If you've got information and there's a chance that you get caught by the Empire, and they've got a chance to torture you and get that information, Andor will just kill you.
Yeah.
And I like that.
You gotta be cutthroat. This is war.
Yeah, essentially. It's a Star War.
You could say.
You could say. It's the name in the movie. All connects. I don't necessarily think most people gelled to that new rebel attitude, though. The rebels are like, oh, you've got to have hope, yada, yada, yada. They get into that, but at the start of the film anyway, it seems like they're just sort of going, we don't care who stands in our way.
Kind of. I suppose they've had to think, really. They've been on the back foot against the Empire for so long.
So low.
For so low.
Oh!
So they've had to be a little bit more cutthroat. Mm-hmm. Because I think hope has not ever really felt in their grasp until now. So I can see why, and I think that does make sense.
It makes for a very interesting Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Something we've not really seen before. And that's refreshing.
Yeah, they've all been a little bit nice, haven't they? This one felt a little bit more gritty.
Yeah. Let's talk technical achievements and returning characters. This will open a can of worms. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about a CGI replacement of an actor who has passed?
If it's an actor that's passed, then yeah, I understand why they'd use them. I really spotted it now. With Mr. Cushing's character.
Oh, Mr. Moff Tarkin.
But he's still fabulous, isn't he? Come on, let's not pretend here.
Do you think that this CGI replacement stuff is the way to go? Or would you have preferred a recast and have a new actor in there?
It's a really hard one because as soon as you put AI involved, you're taking work away from an actor.
There's a slight difference with this one.
Yeah, because obviously this has been set already in a series of movies, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It already exists. There's already that character.
Oh, okay. No, that's not what they do. In this one, they get people in as stand-ins to read the lines and stuff. Essentially what they're doing is motion capture.
Okay.
Not so much on Leia. Leia's a bit different. Because she only has like one line. Turn around and say hope. Great.
Yeah.
You've really nailed that. Moff Tarkin is played by an actor called Guy Darby. He's a very British man. He doesn't look dissimilar to Peter Cushing.
Okay.
And essentially what these VFX artists have done is just paste Cushing's face on there.
Okay. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know what I think about it, if I'm being completely honest at the moment.
Yeah.
I've never really had to think about it, if I'm being honest.
I think...
It does look like it's been put there, to be fair. That was a little bit distracting, because I felt like you were looking at a cutscene in a video game.
Yeah. I think it was a step in the right direction, because we had... A few years before, we had Tron Legacy, and that really dropped the ball on it. Like, that's not a good young Jeff Bridges. But here, I think it's an improvement. Absolutely it is. And there are moments where he says, you may file when ready. Where I think that's good.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you were using it sparingly, which this film doesn't, that would be fine. It would be less glaring.
Yeah.
But here you have time to get used to it and study it and look at it. And you go, humans' eyes don't look like that. Yeah,
his skin doesn't quite look right. It's a bit shiny again. It just looks like it's come off of a cutscene from a very good video game.
Yeah. Does that take you out of the film somewhat?
I'm already out of the film. Set in space. It's a space war, man.
Okay. You there? What space war is this?
It didn't stop me enjoying the film, though. Truth be told.
Let's talk about some other things as well, because this... did you see any of the trailers for this?
No. So I had heard that Rogue One existed.
Okay.
I may have seen a trailer, but I don't necessarily remember seeing it. But I was at work, I think I mentioned this in the solo video, and I was kind of having a bit of a bitch about it, like, oh, do we need this? I don't really want to watch this Rogue One. And it was a colleague who went, actually, do you know what it's about? And I thought, no, I don't. Okay. And he told me. And I was like, oh, that actually sounds quite interesting. And it kind of brought me into it.
Okay.
But at first when they announced it, because they announced they're doing solo, etc. around that same time, I remember thinking, we don't need these films.
It's too much Star Wars.
It's way too much. A New Hope's come out, it's great.
Yeah.
Not A New Hope, sorry. The Force Awakens has come out, that's great. What are we adding more and more convoluted stuff to? But I actually really, really enjoyed this.
The problem with Star Wars, I think, in the originals, there was 3 years gap between each of them. Mm-hmm. And they felt like an event. So when they came back in 1999, they said, okay, same again. So every 3 years, they'd pump out a Star Wars movie. Mm-hmm. And only 3 of them. And then you'd be like, yeah, Star Wars is back. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Here, you don't have to wait long.
No.
A Star Wars every year. It's like the Marvel movies. That's too much. That is a bad business plan for Star Wars.
Well, it's kind of a hard one, isn't it, for Hollywood? Because it's like, how long do you leave it? Are audiences still interested in waiting for 3 years?
Yeah.
Or do they want things a little bit quicker now? I still think a year in between them all is a bit too quick. Mm-hmm. Especially when we've got TV shows being pumped out left, right and centre as well. Mm-hmm. They should have maybe waited a bit longer, make sure it was a little bit more finesse had been put in there.
I think the whole Disney Star Wars thing was rushed anyway, but we'll talk about that when we get to the sequels. Mm-hmm. So they released loads of trailers for this, and when the trailers dropped, they were well received. Mm-hmm. There is a problem with the trailers, though, however.
Okay.
Because some of the shots in the trailers, not in the movie.
As we get with a lot of trailers. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire.
Exactly, yeah. It's not uncommon for that to happen, but as someone who studies trailers when they come out and looks for background things and things like that, if I see a film I've studied a trailer for, I will look for those shots.
You're looking for a scene, you're looking for Easter eggs.
I'm looking for things that are coming up, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see how that scene's going to play out. And if I don't get it, I don't sleep at night. There's a shot in one of the trailers, I think it was the second trailer they dropped, where, you know, at the end where Jyn Erso's going out onto that balcony thing.
Yeah.
One of the star ships literally just comes up like facing her.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit. Like, how's she gonna get out of that? And then it was just not there.
Does it exist as like a deleted scene?
No. It's not anywhere. Can't find it anywhere. And this is a problem with Disney. They must have seen a shot a cut of this movie and gone, that's not quite what we want. So this entered reshoots.
Yeah.
Quite famously, quite expensive. They made the money back. It was Star Wars when it was still good. And it was quite late in the game. There were rumours of Gareth Edwards not being on set for those and not having much input and stuff. Whatever. Like, I don't know if any of that's true. But the reshoots turned out to be this. And this film ends beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what sort of test screenings were like and how this story was originally going to end. Was Jyn's character going to live? Who knows?
Who knows?
Was she going to be rescued? Who knows?
Yeah.
I think the ending that we get for this is absolutely perfect. Yeah. I think what also really helps it is the fact that we're not getting a standard Hollywood ending either. Mm-hmm. But we are. It's really weird, if you know what I mean, because it's still ending on a good note in the fact that the plans have worked and we see it go to a character that we all love from the original movies. And it sets that up straight away, saying like, "Oh my god, I'm ready for A New Hope now."
I remember. I went to the midnight showing, and I remember the atmosphere. There was an atmosphere there. It wasn't as busy as it was for Force Awakens, but the atmosphere was good. And I remember the last 5 minutes, everyone going, "Oh my god, I can just watch New Hope straight away."
Yeah,
that was a good feeling to have coming out of this film. Obviously, there's a scene. We'll talk about him in a second. In terms of the story, at the start, it does feel very, okay, everyone's separate. And they're trying to get this band of misfits together.
Yeah.
But in Star Wars, they have the unfortunate thing of being on many different planets.
Oh god, it's like, oh, we're at this planet now. No, we're at Jeddah. I fucking know which planet they're on. They're always something fucking different, aren't they?
Yeah.
And all the planets tend to look the fucking same as well.
I'm glad we saw this on a Letterboxd review, that it doesn't stick to the whole desert stuff.
Or ice.
Yeah, desert or ice.
We get Bahamas.
Beautiful. I imagine that shot in some fancy location, and that was very good for the cast.
They were like, ooh, this is nice.
It was like, oh, I'll go to the Bahamas to do Star Wars. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's talk about one thing that we can both agree on, and we both said this as soon as this film started: the music.
Oh, this music's sexy.
Now, Star Wars has famously had one composer mostly all the way through. Mm-hmm. That person is John Williams.
Oh, you love him, don't you?
He's an icon. 91 years old and still pumping out music for Indiana Jones 17.
17 million.
Yeah.
He's like, Harrison Ford, have you done enough of these yet?
Yeah. One more? You got one more? Yeah. See that little horse? Flog it some more. I think the Star Wars music with John Williams is always gold.
There's something about this one, though.
Shout out to Michael Giacchino, who is a musician I adore as much as the likes of Hans Zimmer. Just Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
Great, yeah. He really holds his own. He did the music for the Star Trek movies, like the newer ones, and he did the music for Ratatouille.
That'll be why then. Someone's got the Ratatouille
I'm just saying.
soundtrack on his playlist at the moment.
I'm just saying, guys, the music for Ratatouille is gold, and if that was his audition for Star Wars, quid's in. But his music here is fantastic. It's Williams-esque, but it's new.
It is. It feels like Star Wars, but there's something really, really sad about it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's played out already, like something terrible is going to happen to these people, but there's something about it, the way that it makes you feel when you hear it. Do you know what I mean?
There's a beautiful new, not an Imperial March, but there's a Empire theme that sort of runs through this, which is threatening and foreboding.
Oh, someone used
I said foreboding.
Synonyms today.
That's my word of the day. This episode is brought to you by the word foreboding. But the stuff that is good, it does give the feeling of hope, which is important to these characters because they say it every 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, I agree. If anyone's seen the film Melancholia, that does something very similar with its score.
Okay.
It's quite soaring, and it makes you feel good, but there's something really sad about it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be because that film's called Melancholia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, I don't know, this has the same sort of thing to it.
Yeah. I'm so happy, but so sad.
Like, oh my god, this is so epic. But my god, is it hitting somewhere inside me?
Why do I cry? Yeah. But yeah, Giacchino smashed it out of the park. It's weird to me that he hasn't come back to Star Wars for any music.
The one in his done is like, I'm going to mic drop, bye.
I think that's the theme of these though, isn't it? Like, one and done.
Yeah, I don't think Solo was ever supposed to be that though. I think they were always planning on making that bigger.
Yeah.
But bye.
Never. See you never. Yeah. Let's talk about our boy, Darth Vader.
Boy.
I'm going to ask you a question. I need an honest answer.
No.
Okay. I would like an honest answer, please.
Okay.
Did we need him?
No.
Are you glad he's here?
Yes.
Right, okay, good. In this earlier scenes, you don't need those. And James Earl Jones, man, he's old. He sounds old.
He sounds like an old man. He sounds like he needs to be enjoying himself.
Stop getting James Earl Jones back. I'm glad that he's doing it and he's still working, but he doesn't need to be doing Darth Vader anymore. And he certainly doesn't need to be doing Mufasa again.
But just a quick question. If he doesn't do these characters, would the fans kick off?
No, there are very talented voice artists who will be happy to take the go. Because he doesn't do it for the video games. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do it for the TV shows. I don't think he did it for Obi-Wan. I could be wrong in that. But there are ways around it. Obviously, he's not going to live forever. Mm-hmm. You're going to need someone to do it at some point. Because that character's immortal. Even though he died. He's immortal.
He's always coming back.
I don't like that he does a pun. That's sad.
Is it though?
I kind of do like it actually, thinking about it.
As long as he doesn't do more of them, we only allow him to do one funny.
One funny per franchise.
Yes.
So like he can't. He's dead now. So.
Yeah, no more, please.
Yeah.
He doesn't really add much to this at all.
He doesn't even feel like a threat in it. I think you have to have him there because he's the leader of the Empire or whatever. He's not even the leader because Palpatine's doing it.
He's just the front, isn't he? Palpatine's the strings.
Yeah. I think he was an addition to please certain members of the fan base. Yeah,
because I mean, again, we get other characters in this as well. We see your boy C-3PO and R2-D2. I think they're there as well to say, "Oh my god, Easter egg fans."
Didn't need them. This
is still a Star Wars film, in case you didn't already know.
Yeah. We talked about Solo the other week, and we said it doesn't feel like Star Wars, and there's a lightsaber at the end just to make it a Star Wars movie. Mm-hmm. What distinguishes that from this?
I feel like this one, they mention the Force a lot more. I feel like the blind gentleman feels a bit more like a Jedi. Mm-hmm. We see more of the Star Wars trope, I feel like, with this, a little bit more. We get the gang of friends in the other one, but I don't know. There's something more Star Warsy about this. And as soon as you add in a Death Star and stormtroopers, It's fucking cool.
It's Star.
Again, the dogfights are absolutely amazing. You compare that to the shit we get in Solo with him in this fucking crap car.
Yeah.
He thinks he's a bit too fast, too
fast,
furious.
too Solo.
Oh, it's so crap. And the spaceships in that are fucking crap.
Yeah. They're uninspired.
Yeah, other than the Millennium Falcon, which we all love, everything else in that is kind of like,
It's paint by numbers.
It's meh.
Yeah.
This is like,
Yeah. I do think this one captures the feel of a Star Wars movie without using lightsabers. You don't need lightsabers to do a Star Wars.
How did you find that last 45 minutes, obviously, compared to Solo? Because I feel personally that this does feel like an epic Star Wars movie in that final 45 minutes. I know you felt it a little bit with the Kessel Run.
The Kessel Run, yeah. The Kessel Run it's only 10 minutes. It's done well, but you can't see most of it anyway because it's done quite dark. Mm-hmm. It's not shot well. This is a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Like, cinematography's smashed it out of the park. I don't know who did it, but whoever you are, take a fucking bow.
Yeah.
It helps that the visuals of Gareth Edwards, I don't know, I'm simp for Gareth Edwards, lend itself to the battle scenes as well. Because you're with these troops on the ground, and you look up to see an 80-80,
yeah,
the big walker things, and you're like, that big, me go run now. So, the dogfights are good. I think they're as good as New Hope. New Hope really gets it right in terms of dogfighting. But that's George Lucas's love for dogfights anyway. From like Battle of Britain and stuff like that, and Dam Busters, I think.
You see where he gets his
absolutely
ideas from.
Yeah, it does. This one does feel like a Star Wars, particularly the last 45 minutes, which is a beautiful movie in itself. You could put that out.
I would happily skip through most of the beginning of A New Hope. I keep calling it A New Hope now. Yeah. At the beginning part of this, just to watch that last segment, because my god, is that good.
It pays off, doesn't it?
Oh, it was worth it. When I went to see this at the cinema, it was worth the price of admission alone.
Oh yeah.
Or at least it would have been if I weren't limitless.
Our boy Darth Vader gets a scene at the end. Now, he's never been better.
Oh, when his black smoke arrives.
Okay, so obviously we all know what scene we're talking about here. We see it all the time. It's the ship, it's the rebel ship, it's not going well for them. They've got the plans, but they need to get it through the thing. And these rebels are blocked.
Through the thing?
Through the corridor is the word I'm looking for. But there's a door in the way. Enter a Mr. Vader.
He enters via smoke.
Can you imagine if you just travelled by smoke?
I think he does travel by smoke.
What? That would be insane. And I love it. It's pitch black, beautiful, and then he ignites his lightsaber.
Cool.
It's cool. You think it's cool then, it's going to get cooler. Because the music is, again, fantastic.
It's outstanding.
But he's going to town on these rebels. He's like, none of you are getting out of here.
You're all fucked.
Yeah. It's me against 8. It's not a fair fight for you.
Yeah.
He takes down so many of them, picks them up onto the ceiling, chops one in half, grabs one, force chokes one, and slams against the wall. He stabs like 7 of them. And then I think it's a real good bit of writing and direction.
Yeah, the way they're passing it on.
Yeah, they're passing on these Death Star plans, and the guy's going, you've got to help get this door open. But then when that rebel realises it's too late for him, he's like, you've got to take these plans now and get him away from this guy, because he is ruthless. Oh, my gosh.
But what I really like about that corridor scene as well, because obviously we're following the plans, they're like past the parcel. Every single rebel's like, without even thinking, it's, we're going to shut ourselves in with this.
Yeah.
As long as it gets its main goal. And I kind of love that, because they know what they're in for.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. Like one just setting off the escape pod, like, go.
They know that whatever they're fighting for is bigger than them.
Yeah.
And you don't really get that in certain Star Wars movies. Solo.
Oh, my God, you're shit.
Right. But, yeah, everyone's in the same fight and going for the same goal. And it's just people work together.
Teamwork just makes the dream work.
Exactly. I just think it's so good. But, oh my God, I could watch that all day. 2 little facts I know about this film and Gareth Edwards.
Oh.
I just like the guy.
Do you want me to leave you in a room with Gareth Edwards films?
Hey, you know what? If I could get Gareth Edwards on this podcast, that would be a goal.
No, what? You just cry at him the entire time.
Be like, I liked it when you did the thing with the big scale.
With the big lizard.
I like your scale. Thank you. You're good at scale, Edwards. Tell me more about that. He was writing the film, or had some input in it. Couldn't come up with the name of the planet. I told you this. This is really fun for me. Couldn't come up with the name of the planet for the final battle to happen. Goes to Starbucks. Okay, hazelnut latte, whatever. What name is it? It's Gareth. And then the guy's like, yeah, okay, cool. And obviously at Starbucks you wait for the name to be read because they've written it on your cup. And it said Scarif. Which is the name of the planet in the movie. It all connects.
I saw another story about that, not connected to this particular one, but I think someone said my name's Mark with a C, and I think they got it and it said cock. Mark, but drop the M.
Drop the M, yeah. The M's don't need that bit.
Not the bit sit. I've had some right weird. I always get Jane. Mm-hmm. But occasional Jude.
Jude? I get Jamie. Well, I get Jamie.
You get Jamie.
Jamie, it's James. Okay, yeah, cool. Sometimes it's spelt wrong, which is weird. It's 5 letters.
It'd just be that way.
It'd be that way.
I think I'd be the same. I think I'd panic. I mean, I struggled spelling owl.
You did the other day. That was really upsetting for me. Oh yeah, it's got a Y in it. No, it does not. My second Gareth Edwards fact.
Oh, here he goes again.
I'm just saying. I'm a simp for the guy. You know, in the take the plants, take them. Please, he's gonna kill me. I'm paraphrasing. They launched the thing, and the guy who pulls...
Launched the what?
They launched the ship that's got Leia on it to start A New Hope.
Excellent.
You're good at that, and I don't like it. The rebel that pulls the lever, that is the director cameo from Mr. Gareth Edwards.
He's left himself on the...
Essentially what he's done is he's kicked off the original trilogy, so we have him to thank.
And he's gone down with his ship, because that ship were fucked.
I actually have a third Gareth Edwards fact.
Oh my god!
He has a cameo in The Last Jedi.
Oh, that's your favourite film ever, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No, it's a good film. It's a quality film. And I'm sorry to any Last Jedi haters who are listening.
Because you're going to have to listen to James absolutely bum himself about that.
But I'll try and be a naysayer. It's going to be tough because I can't find anything wrong with that film. And we'll go from there. Speaking of anything wrong, this is close to perfect though, isn't it?
I think it's close to perfect. I think it's a shame that the first 2/3 of this is a little bit meh. There's a couple of scenes that could have gone. I think that's what annoys me a little bit more. We could have fleshed out the characters a little bit more, but also kind of why would they? Because they're going to kill them off anyway.
Yeah.
It's a hard one, but I really like this movie.
Is it a fact that the last 45 minutes is so good that we think that overshadows any other flaws or pacing issues in the start of it?
Bear in mind, I haven't seen this film since 2019, until obviously we watched it just now. The bits I remembered were the last 45 minutes, and then other little bits and pieces to do with like the blind guy, the really cool droid,
that squid thing that goes over his Ahmed's face.
I did not remember that. That lived somewhere else in my memory. Creepy.
Shall I do my Forrest Whitaker impression again?
If you'd like to.
Oh, got it.
So, no, I remembered the last 45 minutes as being fucking gold, and that was why I was so excited to watch it again. And you know what? It did not disappoint.
No. This film never disappoints for me. Because I know what's coming, obviously. I think when K2SO dies, the first time I watched it, I was like, none of these guys are coming back. And I'm kind of here for it. Yeah. What a bold move.
I think it needed it. And again, I think it really helps the fact that they decide to do that. Yeah. But then end it with such a great
ending.
A great ending with the final 10 minutes with like, oh, we're setting up A New Hope, and you're like, oh my god, they're doing it, because they could, if they'd have really wanted to, has just ended it on Andor and Jin being blasted on the beach. Yeah. But they could have just ended it with
There's
that.
No time.
If they'd have really wanted to, but they didn't. They were like, you know what, we're gonna end it with this instead.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible. So many emotions, up and down. What a roller coaster.
What a roller coaster, guys. Do you think this is better than Space Jam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Do you think it's a top tier Star Wars movie?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wow, okay. That's a statement.
It is a statement, and you know what? I stand by that.
Okay.
It's one of the ones as well I've actually probably seen the most.
This one?
Yeah.
But you've only seen it twice. No, 3 times.
I may have seen it a little bit more than that.
Okay.
And not since 2019.
Right, not since 2019 have I seen a Rogue One movie.
I hadn't seen, until I started watching them with you, I hadn't seen any Star Wars movie.
Interesting. Yeah, we have some other opinions on Rogue One.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to like any of these. You might like some. Okay. AMNC21, hello, thank you for listening. Thank you for getting in touch. This is going to upset you, though.
No.
It's underwhelming, but definitely not awful, and not the worst Star Wars movie.
He's correct, but wrong.
Okay. Can you see where he's coming from?
Yeah. Again, the first 2/3 are meh.
They're a slog.
And again, but even then, they're still not the worst.
Yeah. Moo Glamourchuck, hello.
Hello.
Best Star Wars movie since Empire, in my honest opinion.
You are right, sir.
Okay. That's excluding Return of the Jedi as well, though.
Oh,
and the
okay.
prequels.
Okay, it's better than a lot of the prequels, let's be honest now.
Yeah. Moon Wilts, Tom Wilson, friend of the podcast and the page.
Hello, Tom.
You did the logo, Tom. Thank you very much. But he said, I watch it every year on May the 4th. Didn't say he'd enjoy it. I don't know how he feels about it.
Why would you watch it on May the 4th if you didn't enjoy it? That is Star Wars Day. I mean,
That's a good point.
what will we be watching on May the 4th? The Last Jedi?
Star Wars. Yeah.
Which one?
Time for All 9?
No.
Go on. Okay, fine.
Go on.
One from each trilogy, though.
Why do you hate me?
Number 3, number 5, number 8. I said it. Those ones.
We'll talk about this later.
Oh, quick thing as well, another fact.
Oh, is it about Gareth Edwards?
This one's not about Gareth Edwards. Thank you very much. We said this as well. We're like, that's cool that they've done that. Any shots of archival footage that they had from the original Star Wars, you know, when people are doing the dogfighting stuff?
Yeah.
They've remastered that and put it in here.
Oh, that's why it's incredible.
What a move.
I love that. So that footage is being used and it makes sense as well. It's not just been put in for fan service. It works.
Can you imagine if you were an extra in Star Wars and then you go and see a new Star Wars and you're like, oh, there I am. Where's my paycheck?
Yeah, but they own your property, don't they?
They own you, though. Disney owns everything, though.
Disney owns your soul. It owns everybody's souls. If
Yeah.
you have Disney Plus, it owns you.
For $7.99 a month, I think it is.
Right. You've not mentioned this.
Go on.
The really important part.
Yeah.
You cried in the cinema. Why?
Okay. This is a personal thing for me. I've only ever cried.
You cry all the time.
Okay, no, I don't. I've only ever cried. You know when celebrities die and everyone gets sad, and I've never got it. 2 celebrities passed that year, and I was like, it wrote me off. Mm-hmm. Robin Williams, cried like a baby. Carrie Fisher. Mm-hmm. Carrie Fisher died maybe like a week, 2 weeks before this came out. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is the saddest I've ever been. Like, Princess Leia's dead and I've got to go watch Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I was in such a good mood as well in that last 45 minutes. I was like, nothing can get better than this. And then, obviously, they've got the plans on the ship and the door opens and she stood there.
We see the white dress. So iconic.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a CGI job, similar to Moff Tarkin. Mm-hmm. But I was just happy to see Leia again.
Yeah.
As people would like to remember her. Mm-hmm. I know it's not her, but she says the word hope or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think the CGI was iffy, and it could have just been her stood there with her back away, not facing us at all. And that would have been enough. But yeah, that hit hard. And I was like, oh, okay.
Was you just sat sobbing in the...
I just had the Darth Vader scene. My emotions were high anyway, because I was like, nothing can beat that. And then one of my favourite Star Wars characters rocks up again. And it's Carrie Fisher. In the flesh, sort of.
In the CGI.
In the CGI, sort of. So yeah, that's why I cried at Rogue One.
Have you cried several times since at Rogue One? Or is it just that first
time? It was
time?
just that first time. Cause it was like oh shit, there she is. Other Star Wars films do make me cry though.
I look forward to this.
No, because I think you know which ones they are.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. But Rogue One, you smashed it out of the park.
Yay, well done Rogue One.
Gareth Edwards, take a bow.
Wherever he is, he's bowing.
Is he bowing? Is he working on Jurassic Park right now?
Let's hope he is. We need some good Jurassic Park after some of the shit they've...
Big, sexy lizard.
Lizard dinosaurs.
Yes, make it good, Gareth.
Make it good.
Make it good. Thanks for this.
Spare no expense.
That's a Jurassic Park quote. Well done. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you for watching Rogue One.
You're welcome.
No more Star Wars this season.
oh, yay, I can have a bit of a break from it. Just because they're so long.
They are long. But we're into the good stuff. Original trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, this is good shit from now on. I mean, from Rogue One onwards, I knew I was getting some good stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's just a long movie.
They're slogs, aren't they, sometimes?
Yeah.
New Hope's a slog.
There's
I'll
a lot of filler in Star Wars, which, to be honest, I find boring.
Mm-hmm.
But you do get good payoff because you get some really good stories, some good characters.
Yeah. Harrison Ford's in the new
some
ones.
Good actions.
In the next ones.
Oh,
so.
Sexy.
Sexy. Big, sexy Ford.
Ford.
Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you for watching Rogue One. Guess what? Ready Player One next.
Woo, The Shining.
It's one. It's Rogue One.
Shut
but then
up.
it's Ready Player One.
And the one before that was Solo,
Yeah.
which means...
That's just one.
But, one.
But then this is Star Wars, and this is Bendelson
Right,
in
I'm
it.
going home.
And then, but the episode next week's got Bendelson in it as the villain as well. So
It all connects.
Themes. Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Ready Player One. Whoop whoop.
Bye.
Bye.